Barriers. What is a stereotype? To stereotype or stigmatize is to unfairly believe that any person or thing with a particular characteristic is the same. We see stereotypes and stigmatization in so many aspects of our life. We see it in race, in gender, in age, in ability or disability, and in appearance. And I'm going to make you guys work again. Who wants to give me an example for each one of these? Kenton?
For race, black people are always mad.
Always mad.
Yeah. For gender, women always either cook or lay in bed.
Okay.
In age, old people can't drive. And abilities and disabilities, mentally challenged people drool all the time.
Haven't heard that one. Alright, does anyone want to give me one for appearance? You kind of hit all.
Oh, appearance?
How about you? What's
Blondes just tend to not be as smart. Like, if I hear a little more blonde,
Dumb
I'm gonna
blondes?
freak out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. It's good.
So generally we can all agree that in these areas of life there are racial stereotypes that can be applied to almost every color. In gender, women belong in the kitchen and men belong at work. In age, young kids are reckless and old people can't drive. In abilities, all disabled people can't do anything alone. And in appearance, for those of us who fall victim to resting bitch face. We happen to live in an objective society, but we are subjective people on our own. We tend to make mental choices or judgments all the time, and that impacts how we behave. We see stigmas that are enforced by personal or ethnocentric agendas, and we begin to give social power to them, even if this is not true of all the people in that demographic. And I think we do it because it's the easy thing to do. It helps us to fit in. However, using these judgments can overrule our sense of difference and manipulate our use of language. I'm going to show you two photos, and I want you guys to point out to me what comes to mind when you see them. I want you to tell me what you know about these people based on what you see. How does he make you feel?
Like I can run fast.
Like you can run fast. Okay, so you're on that side of the stereotype, huh? Would you feel safe with this person around?
No.
No.
Oh.
Well,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you trust him
No.
if he asked you to? Okay. How about this guy? Oh, he's a little blurry. Sorry.
He likes to party
Okay, he likes to party. Why is that?
because he's wearing a bow tie and a dog.
Okay. Would you trust him with your kids?
No.
Oh, no.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. Between these two people, do you think that there can be a common link between them, even if they don't look the same? Both of these people are wonderful men who chose to present their lives in two completely different ways. But at the end of the day, all of their different interpretations of life carry one common denominator. They happen to be amazing friends, and they're also my brothers. Each one is sorry, that's blurry too. Each one is successful in their own way. Their integrity and their passion and their creativity are inspiring for what they do and who they want to be to their respective people in their worlds. They were my teachers growing up, and what I've been able to learn in my own interpretation of life is that being able to openly communicate is essential to having a meaningful experience as a human. Being able to drop my preconceived perception of what it should look like to be successful has quite possibly been one of the best decisions I could have ever made for myself. Not only to become a more effective communicator, but also a happier person. Being able to communicate is being able to choose your own interpersonal experience. And an interpersonal experience is a subjective engagement that you have with the people around you that shapes your own association of life. This means that we all come with differences. What do you guys see in this picture?
A duck and a rabbit.
But did you see duck first?
Yeah.
Show of hands, who saw duck first? Did anyone see rabbit first? I see rabbit first too. Thank you. Looking at this picture, it can show that even slight differences in how our mind associates sight with memory can distinguish our understanding of something that we may only encounter at face value, such as a photo. But it's okay to recognize that we can all have such radical differences in our interpretation of something, and that one is not better than the other. Mine is not better than yours, and yours is not wrong. This simply means that we are a complex species, and that we can learn so much more from each other than we thought we could. The nature of language refers to the words that we choose to use and how we choose to use them. There are so many variables that affect our language, and one of the most important to me is semantics, which is what a word means to you, or recognizing that it can have multiple interpretations. I want you guys to look at this word, and I want you to close your eyes. Think deeply about what home means to you. Start to develop that picture in your mind. Is home your grandma's house with the red rose bushes out front? Or is it your parents' first apartment where you remember learning how to walk? It could even be how you feel with your significant other. It does not have to be a place. Now open your eyes and look around. I can guarantee that none of you had the exact same picture in your mind. These words are the history of a person's life. These words are the context of our memories that change the words that come out of our mouth. And a lot of times that change is so much more powerful than a four-letter word. I live my life making a conscious effort to do something I call demanipulation. It's a 3-step process that I created to help me forget all the bullshit that stigmatization has put upon me in my mind. These 3 steps are seeing, listening, and behaving. Seeing is having the ability to take a moment at face value and appreciate it. Take in the connection. See the physical differences, consider the contextual differences, and take in the mystery presented to you. Listening is giving the benefit of the doubt, opening your ears as well as your mind, and think about how they chose their words for you. And behaving is learning from what others demonstrate to you, provide the acceptance that they deserve, and expect it in return. Because I can imagine that every single one of you in here has something to teach me and each other. I'm not telling you guys all of these big words to give you a lesson in Communication 101 again, because I know we all went through it. But I want to give you an opportunity. The opportunity to see that there is a deeper value to how we enforce our judgments, and to transform what we mean and how we feel, so that we don't end up missing all the good stuff that lies beneath. I was fortunate enough to grow up with 2 amazing parents who did happen to have some conservative beliefs that they pushed onto me. But had I not also had the siblings I did as role models, I would have learned the wrong way of communication and never even given the time of day to some of the most incredible people I know. It was through their courage and acceptance that I am able to live a life of appreciation for all the people around me, and that I'm able to separate what society says about a person and believe what I say about a person. Through seeing the differences that make us interesting and listening to your stories that have shaped your lives, and living a life that opens doors to all experiences, we can all protect ourselves from the negative limitations our judgments can put upon us. I want to give you the challenge of thinking of all people as a present to yourself. You have the opportunity to unwrap each one, see what they are, and see what they could be.